You do meet the occasional cool white person, but it doesn't change their colonizing past.
Yeah. Oh, and welcome to another episode of the #1 fake history podcast, The Lore Boys. Today we will be dipping our toes into the huge pool that is RuneScape lore. My name is James, and who are you two crazy folks across the camera from me?
It's me, Darkslayer Angel 420, also known by my online handle, Ethan Palmer.
Breaking Benjamin starts playing.
I love that era of the internet. I'm Peter O'Donohue, also dipping my little piggies into the RuneScape lore.
Nice. So this episode was requested by, and I did the really cool move of saying I got to look that up right before the show, and then I didn't.
Nice.
So I'll type in RuneScape here.
Jamie desperately looking up what is RuneScape.
The guy who I've heard it the most from lately is Honest Dawn. We vibe together a lot about our classic WoW raids and stuff like that. We got Wooly, we got Saucy, who's talking about plenty of weird corrupted blood kind of situations in RuneScape, which we won't cover too many of those weird IRL things, but I have a couple anecdotes to share with you guys later. We got Wooly, a Dirk, Fragile, Shark, 526, Archlord, Dirk again, a Dirk, which is a different person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Avocado Man,
Which is
Trev,
also a different person.
Yes, Milne, Arnold, aka Colin, this one's been
Heavily
I think
requested.
heavily requested. Back whenever we were young folks, old school RuneScape was quite popular in like the mid to late 2000s, kind of around the same time classic WoW was taking off, actually. So what are your experiences with RuneScape?
But I would play it. I've played it once or twice. Probably never got past like 5th level at my cousin's place because he had DSL.
Nice.
That's about it.
Nice lips.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon?
You said he had DSL.
What does that mean?
Dick sucking lips.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you couldn't spend too much time playing RuneScape.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what the actual term means as far as internet goes. There's cable and DSL and fiber now. Yeah, I've never played it. I've never seen it played. I had dial-up as well for most of my life until like the middle of high school. And my friends that had internet would play Tibia and not RuneScape. They played a different cheap free RPG. Tibia, I remember there were gangs of Brazilians that would go around, kill people, and steal their money. That's
I've never heard of Tibia
Logan's
before.
main complaint.
Awesome. There's a very big Brazilian population on my WoW server still, so there's still
100 Brazilian players.
Yep.
Shut up.
How many zeros in Brazilian?
So I tried it as a kid. Like I remember playing it on my like cable internet or whatever, and I bounced off of it because there's a lot of systems, the crowded UI, long tutorial. But now coming back after stomaching a very crowded UI from classic WoW, and many grindy systems from classic WoW, I found it really fun. I played for like 3 or 4 hours yesterday, and I had to like say, okay, it's time to go to bed. You have an episode to write in the morning. Like I would have kept playing it all night kind of thing. So like, what is it? It's an MMO. It's over the shoulder. You can move the camera around, and you have a character, right? And you have skill systems. So the whole kind of goal of the game is to up your skills. End game can be a bunch of different things. You can like gamble. You can do PvP. You could try like iron mode runs where you can't die. And if you die, you lose everything in a game where it takes like hundreds and hundreds of hours to make progress. So the skill system, it goes from 1 to 99. And that could be mining, That could be fletching, like making arrows and stuff. That could be herbalism, fishing, cooking, all these like things that are, or even fighting, combat, defense.
Going to bed at a responsible hour, then writing a podcast script.
Exactly. That's a skill
Jamie's
level
currently at 88. He's almost capped out because he went to bed at a reasonable hour for whatever he whenever he goes to bed.
Yeah. So it generally like goes quickly at the beginning, but drastically slows down. And I think even for the last few skill points, you need to have a membership, because since it's a free game, you have to have a membership to kind of access end game content. Okay. But you can buy tokens for months of that with in-game gold. So in theory, if you're playing enough, you can fund your own membership.
Can you do that in WoW?
You can. In theory, if I played more retail WoW, I could just pay for my account and then never have to actually use real money. Oh. It's a way to minimize gold inflation and hopefully limit gold sellers, because that's what people would used to do before, is they would like sell their gold to pay their account, but all through third-party systems.
Yeah.
And gold, just since you get it from monsters, it never like goes away. It just builds up and builds up and builds up. But this it's like a gold dump to take gold out of the economy. It's like I can pay 100,000 gold to get a month of time, which limits inflation a bit, but still there's always inflation.
I love these little microcosms of like real world economics in the WoW gold. Could you make enough gold that you could not only pay for your account, but you could pay somebody to run those accounts for you?
Oh my god!
And then you never even need to play. You can go outside and touch grass. You can break the cycle. You know,
that's probably at the highest level what gold sellers are doing, is they have a bunch of people that they pay to do. But I haven't like dug into that very much. I've bought gold once in my life, and I felt dirty doing it.
A buddy of mine bought gold a couple months ago. It was so funny. He was telling me when I went over, and he was like, "Yeah, the guy like." Use like OBS to record the screen, which is basically like the digital receipt of him passing off the gold to him, so you can't like tell him that he was scammed or whatever, and he had like a burner account to do it. I wonder, because the Canadian government just did their federal budget. I wonder if buying a GF is in there to reduce inflation, because that's a thing. That's the only thing I know about RuneScape, is the guy in like the green pants who wants to buy a girlfriend.
When I bought gold, I got it through my friend's burner account. My friend who had a second account, I'm like, can you buy the gold and then mail it to me, just so we have an extra layer of security on it?
Like drug dealers going to 7-Eleven to buy World of Warcraft accounts.
I did remember there's like some story that from RuneScape that I've been trying to Google, and I hope I'll find it by the end of the episode, about like a glitch where like it reminded me of the Corrupted Blood incident, I guess, in a way, where it's just there was like some glitch that affected a large number of people where they were able to attack other people, like regardless of PvP flags, essentially. But like the other people couldn't defend themselves or like fight back. So you just had these people like running around and like disrupting like all these people's progress, like stealing like their hats and like their cosmetics and stuff like that, and just like all because of like a glitch. I'll try and find what it was called. Something Massacre, I think.
Back on our Twitch episode, we talked about Ice Poseidon, who is like just an awful troll on Twitch who like encapsulates a lot of early internet energy, which is to say, to call him like basically a racist, bigot, all these things, right?
Yeah. the proto
early internet energy, you say?
The proto neckbeard, the neckbeard, right?
Yes, exactly. From which all were birthed.
He got his start streaming, doing like stuff like that in RuneScape, like where you just troll people, steal their money, lock them on the other side of a door, and just every time they try and exit the door, close it in their face. So as long as you're logged in, they can't leave this building.
So it was called the Falador Massacre. Okay, and it happened because they just introduced construction as a skill into the game, and I assume we're going to talk a bit about the skills in RuneScape.
There's so many, I'm not going to cover them all, but yeah.
Okay, so they introduced this skill called construction, where you were able to build a house, and when you built the house, you could like throw a party. So the first person to reach level 99, like max skill rank in the construction skill, throws this party where it's just like open house, wherever invites everybody. At the end of it, there's like so many people in the house that it's causing just like a tremendous amount of lag. So he just like expels all. He essentially just like shuts the party down and kicks everybody out. Everybody who got kicked out was able to just like wantonly attack other players.
Oh,
essentially.
that's awesome.
So they were able to just like run around and just like nobody could defend themselves. Fun little coincidences. It was in World 111, so it's called the W111 glitch, or it also occurred on June 6th, 2006. Like it started on June 5th, but it lasted into June 6th.
Okay, so 666.
Yeah, the Doomsday Massacre for 666.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
And all those people got permabanned. All the people who were taking advantage of it. So
my experience with it so far is it's like kind of grindy like WoW, but you always feel the progression, but it's much less input heavy. Like WoW, you're pressing all your inputs all the time. This combat, you set up your preferred order of skills, and it just reads from left to right, and uses whatever is either not on cooldown or you have mana for.
That's cool.
So all you have to do is click on something, and
that must make
combat happens.
I don't. That must make like PvP combat really interesting. Can you like splice in like manual commands or
I think so. I'm like really like I only had one meaningful fight so far where I fought like this big troll mama level 10 and I was level 3 fighting. And I had like fished for 20 minutes and like had so many cooked crayfish in my bag that I just kept like eating crayfish mid-fight. Like you have the automatic bar, but then you have like the ones you can weave in, like your eating and your big cooldowns too, like your 5-minute cooldowns.
Okay,
you can press it and stuff like.
I pulled up a clip on my end here that June 6, 2006 was a Tuesday, sadly, because I was hoping you two had written Bloody Sunday about the Doomsday Massacre. Turns out it was about Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, Tuesday in Canada is Sunday in Ireland. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. The time zone.
An Irish Sunday. That's what we call it. That's what we call it Tuesday.
Blackout drunk on a Tuesday.
So the skill system, like to grind to the end for some of them will take people like literally decades of playing the game.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was looking up last night, like, okay, what can you speed run? Apparently fletching the arrows you can do in like 32 hours. Mining, if you're like really efficient, I think you can do in like 50 hours. Fishing, you can do in like 40 hours. But basically, to max out any like ability or skill, you have to put in a full work week of max efficiency farming.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50 hours to like level up your mining is like what a real cobalt mining slave does now.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yeah. The crafting is kind of cool too. Like it was so complex the first time that I got to it. I didn't enjoy it, but this time, like last night, I made myself a full bronze head to toe armor. And like this big axe in my main hand and a smaller axe in my offhand, and I'm just doing a bunch of slashing damage, and it felt really cool. Like I felt in like 3 hours, I made a lot of progress, and I went from barely being able to knock over a sheep to fighting the big troll mama. So that was
the graphics have gotten better since whenever this game came out. Because I remember the buying GF picture, the guy is just an origami monster, right?
Yeah.
It looks like Silent Hill.
It used to be like in browser, you could play it.
There's also like RuneScape and old school RuneScape, right? Like there's RuneScape 3 now and old school RuneScape, which is like, I guess, the original. Which one do you play, Jamie? Do you play RuneScape or old school RuneScape? You're playing old school RuneScape.
Yeah. I'm probably going to continue playing it, and this is probably going to be one of like maybe 2 or 3 episodes because I want to like have that game feel, but to really talk about it more.
And you got to commit time in an MMO to actually like that first. Like I so vividly remember the early days of playing WoW, like when it was Classic was out or whatever, and TBC was probably like, I don't know, a few months away whenever I started playing, or maybe like a year.
Better time. People play for fun, man.
I just like the nostalgia of that feeling is something that I would try and recapture. Like if I could recapture it, I would absolutely fall back into a RuneScape or whatever. I'm just like, I can't, you know, because it's always like I got shit to do. Like I'm spending time maxing my fishing here, and I'm not having fun doing it.
So this what I was kind of starting to get at when I said this is like a lot lower input. This is an ideal second screen game where you can just leave yourself on fishing until your bags fill up, and while you're fishing, like literally while not touching anything, you can just be on playing your main game or whatever. So
this is your side. This is your side game.
Yeah, at this point,
side action.
Well, now
it's real second screen sort of.
Yeah, I got old school RuneScape up on my second monitor for the main feature on my main monitor, Cookie Clicker, of course.
Yeah, of course. 2 games I don't need to touch and play.
Well, it's a meme amongst the Zoomers now that because like on TikToks and Reels, if you just have spoken word, you can't just have spoken word because that's not enough to keep their attention. They'll go to the next thing. So what they do is they put gameplay underneath of like a mobile game or something. Yeah. So now it's a meme for like if your friend's not listening to you to put a mobile game on your phone and hold it underneath your face. So it's like no here I'm right here, and then you can listen to their story properly.
Just destroy the West. Whoever's listening right now with the capacity to destroy the West, just do it. Just do it now. Yeah. we've failed.
Yeah. Anyways, if you want to play it,
I don't know if this is a West issue specifically.
I know, I'm kidding, of course.
I don't know if you've seen the like influencer farms in like,
China,
in like Southeast Asia and stuff like.
Yeah. Literally cubicles without cubicles, and they're sitting on the floor doing it because it's location based. So you set up in a rich town as a streamer, like underneath an underpass, and so that way your viewers are going to be from a rich town, which means you'll make more money. So that's why you stream sitting on the concrete floor.
I don't know why people don't just invest in a VPN. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But whatever.
I don't know how Chinese Twitch works.
We've got our Twitch farm built in an abandoned like salt warehouse. Okay, I don't have any more money left.
Yeah.
I guess VPNs might be illegal behind the Great Firewall.
I was just thinking that too.
Easy. Yeah.
So that's kind of like a feel for the game. What it is. It's very slow paced, so which is why I recommend it as a second screen kind of game if you do want to get into it. It draws on a lot of different types of influences for the lore, and that's what we're here for. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk
Toes
about
first, right?
Yes, toes first.
Okay,
we don't want to go head first into this one. You never know what might happen. So
yeah,
it has influences like Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology, Tolkien, and Lovecraft. So. Like most of our fun fantasy games that we play today, usually pull from those things.
Yeah, I was just about to pick up my cup here full of wine and just be like, okay, is he going to say the void? I do want wine. Is he going to say the void?
Not the void, but we're going to start with elder gods soon enough.
Oy vey.
Yeah. So we get this lore through quests. Quests break the monotony of mining or fishing for hours at a time. One thing,
if you want to just mine and fish, then by all means,
that's up to you, brother. Yeah, over the lifespan of the game, the lore has become more complex and important, especially now with the 6th Age storyline that was introduced in 2013. It pushed out a lot more lore. It follows the relationship of gods and mortals. It has 3 main pillars: the Tournament of the Gods, the Dragonkin, and the Elder Gods, all of which. We're not really going to talk about the 6th Age at all today.
Okay.
But that is like, if we want to keep going with RuneScape, we can get there, and there's a lot of cool shit at the end, but we got to cover the beginning first.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll do some world creation, follow the life of Guthix, Guthix. He's a big character in the RuneScape universe, but before even the first of the 6 Ages, there's 6 Ages total in RuneScape, and that's the best way to kind of split up the lore. But we have before the first age, so like prehistory, the universe begins.
The 0th age, if you will.
0th age, yeah. Depending if you're in Europe or in North America.
Yeah, exactly.
We started 0 or 1, yeah.
Bloody 0th age. Yeah. As U2 would say.
Yes.
The 2 in U2 stands for second age, actually. It's a little known fact.
Okay, that does make sense.
Well, today we're pretty much going to go from prehistory right up and snuggle into the end of the first age.
Okay,
we're not going to cover everything that happens in the first age, but we're going to follow through the eyes of Guthix, because there's a lot of intermingling of gods going on.
Are we going to talk about the Edge and also Bono along with Guthix, or no?
Yeah, we'll see if you're lucky. Okay. That's the second age. That's what U2 stands for. So maybe next week.
Of course,
yeah. And the And the second O in Bono stands for OSR.
Yeah, old school RuneScape. Yeah. So I guess before I get into the Elder Gods, I'll explain. Elder Gods are like the Uber Gods. They're sort of all powerful. They're like the source of all creation. They're like the strongest of all the gods and around forever since the beginning of time.
Okay.
Then you have gods, which is the next tier down. Also immortal, but they can be killed with something called elder artifacts, of which there are 12 in the RuneScape universe. We'll talk about a few of them, but that could be its own episode eventually. But elder artifacts, super strong. Mortals can wield them, become gods themselves. And they can be used to kill other gods. So
Grandpa's old like brown yellow ashtray or whatever. This elder artifact, right? You just huck it at a god's head.
Could be, yeah. You ash your cigarette, then the power of godhood flows through you or something. Yeah.
This kind of Tolkien influence, though, where you've got like different celestials. Basically, you've got like obviously Iluvatar, and then he's got like the Ainu and the other, and Morgoth creates demons and whatnot. Where it's like, yeah, they're all technically gods or demigods or angels or whatever, but like, you know, Isildur can still cut the cigarette off out of Sauron's hand and wield it.
Yeah, the fingers come down with the two cigarettes.
He's got the two fingers of the smokes, and Isildur cuts the cigarette from Sauron's hand.
Yeah.
Mordor is like the place like. At school, you had that like one little square that technically wasn't school property where everyone went to smoke, and that's just Mordor.
Yes. Yeah, that's where they're allowed to be. Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of which, I thought about our school smoking corner when I was writing this episode, because there was this little guy who just loved old school RuneScape. And he'd like breaking rules and smoking and stuff. And I think I just realized later on in life that he didn't have a terribly supportive family life. So he just went to RuneScape and smoked cigarettes.
At the time, they called it current school RuneScape. It's old school now.
Yeah. I wonder if he's okay. I hope he's okay wherever he is. But
check it out.
Yeah.
That boy's name, Texas.
Oh yeah.
So the Elder Gods, they're born from eggs. What came first? The egg in this world.
Okay.
So they're born from eggs. There's 5 of them.
But what laid the god egg?
This is the thing, right? The egg came first in this universe. There was nothing before the egg.
There had to be something before to lay the egg, though, right?
At least 2 things, unless it's some kind of asexual creation myth.
I'm willing to
like one of them island lizards.
Believe there might be an island lizard that kicked this all off.
An island lizard.
Island lizard that kicked this all off.
We won't really get into the names of the Elder Gods, but that's the first picture that I posted for you guys, is them creating worlds.
I got to scroll all the way up through all these jacked pictures of myself. Yeah, shirtless pictures of myself that Jamie was posting for Peter.
He's doing. He had a good mid-20s working outside. That's all I
will take a drink, because 2 of these look like they're magic rocks, but you have obviously like Gaia. You have Earth Mother, Plant Lady. Then you have, I guess, a male-shaped. This male-shaped one, no visible genitals. This could be our asexual rock lizard here. There's like a rock.
He's a Krogan, right? Like we can all agree.
The one on the left is 100% a Krogan, with like instead of legs, like a rocket engine, it's got an upside down volcano.
He's got a rocket thruster. Yeah.
This is all like, we don't know what they look like. This is just kind of like a stylized, like maybe. Yeah. And there's actually 4 of them who make all the worlds, and they only picture 3 here.
Okay, so there's the fallen asexual lizard of the Bible, right?
Yeah, well there is
Lucifer. 4 of them?
No, there's 5. There's actually 5 Elder Gods, and one of them comes out what they think is stillborn from the egg, but they realize that she's just stuttered back, like she's held at like the mind of a 4-year-old, and she makes the queen of the elves and another god as a playthings, and then eventually abandons them. But she's not pictured here. That's the fallen god, is May. But there's just 4 right now that we don't really need the names of, but they put all the worlds together.
You only see 3 though, Jamie, because one of them had to take the picture.
Oh, it's true.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
We have God of Rocket, rocks and rocket thrusters. We have Gaia,
Yes.
Earth Mother. Then we have Samus Aran, made of rocks.
Oh yes, that does. Yeah.
And then not
pictured.
pictured God of Photography.
Yeah,
God of Photography.
It's the God of Photography is just like it's a planet-sized white guy with dreadlocks, and he has an old camera.
Yeah,
well, it's a really old camera. It's one of those really old cameras where you couldn't move to take a good picture.
Oh,
right?
with the light bulb. Yeah,
But the convenient thing is these like celestial bodies and these gods are moving. It's just at such a scale that it doesn't look like they are, right?
Right.
Because we're seeing like planets the size of tiny little pebbles or whatever. So it's like it's actually convenient. Yeah.
They put a white dwarf where the shatter is supposed to be of the light.
Oh yeah.
And they just pull really hard and cause a black hole. And the supernova lights the photo. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, so the way what they're doing though is they're basically making worlds to power themselves. There's a force called Anima Mundi, life force in this thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Anima Mundi is, but it's probably just old Italian for life force, if I had to guess.
Mundi, I think, is world, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like life world because Anima is
world life. Yeah, like it's like
world life.
You're creating
like syntax is different, right?
Yeah, you're creating this like force of life from these worlds. Like that makes sense to me.
Yep. So they create many worlds, but they keep like just being a little bit off balance. They're not quite right. They keep making another one. They make another one. They make another one, and this is just they're shooting them out into space. And every like world has like a galaxy, which is a plane, and then there's multiple galaxies, which count as multiple planes.
Okay. They're all off balance. They need to find the perfect balance between people with like lizard men with rocket thrusters for legs and also like college photographers. And they're just constantly getting thrown off, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And they finally do make one perfect world called Gielinor, which will be the main place for RuneScape, where it takes place.
The RuneScape world.
Yeah, it's a perfect world. If you look it up, all you'll get is a map of the RuneScape game that you play, and some of they're kind of depicted as like Earth-like, an Earth-like planet. Whenever you zoom out,
the images on Google are like are so bad. So the top hit on Google looks like this fucking map was redacted by the CIA.
Yes, yeah, I'm looking at that.
You're seeing it too.
Yeah.
It's from the wiki page. It is 8,200 by 4,800 pixels, so it's huge.
Yeah,
but the whole bottom left corner is just like blacked out.
Yeah,
so
like,
I assume that's like
hiding Atlantis.
They haven't like shown.
I didn't put pictures of this on purpose, just because I was like, there are no good pictures of this.
Yeah,
so, like all you have to know is if you're playing RuneScape, you're on this world. Your feet are on the ground of Gielinor. Yeah, or did I say that right? Yeah, Gielinor. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a
GIE, Gaelinor, maybe. Yeah, like Gaelic. If that's GA, but whatever.
Unfortunately for the Elder Gods, the imperfect worlds that they created had a side effect. And this side effect is what we all hate, guys. It's the formation of conscious life.
Such a drag, man.
Yeah. So they accidentally created mortals by trying to make a perfect planet, and basically the imbalance created like there's life in all of these planets, but the imbalance is what created conscious life.
But evolution confirmed in RuneScape. So this is satanic, which is why the genocide went down on 666, clearly.
I don't know if it's evolution if
the gods created life. That's not evolution, Pete. That's the opposite.
They created life by accident because they just created planets, and then life spontaneously kept showing up.
I mean, if Professor X accidentally made Powerpuff Boys instead of Powerpuff Girls, I don't know if that's evolution.
Professor Utonium.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So weird that you just referenced Powerpuff Girls, because I was gonna make another joke where I was like, yeah, all this life was called Guthy until they accidentally spelled Chemical X and we got Guthix. It's just really weird that we both our heads went there.
That's what creation myths, our early creation myths from childhood is.
The Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah,
all Powerpuff
I didn't read the Bible, but I've seen a couple episodes. I've seen the opening sequence of Powerpuff Girls.
That's sugar, spice, everything. Nice.
Oops, all Chemical X.
Yeah. So one of these mortals, you might be able to guess, is he's got an X at the end of his name. Yep, Guthix. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It is Professor Utonium's. It's the first Powerpuff. It's the first Powerpuff being, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's just a mortal, a lowly old mortal. But if you're a fan of RuneScape, you already know this name, and you know that by the time you meet him in game, he's a god. So,
like a god on par with these 4 or 5 other gods, sort of thing.
He's no, those are the elder gods. So those are above still, and they don't even have that much interest of what's going on planets yet. Sure. But there will be.
Oh, Jamie knows something about the 7th age.
No, well, in the 6th age,
okay.
There's a whole section of the elder gods. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we are going to.
Gods are different than elder gods. Like they're different power levels.
Right. Elder god top. Gods immortal can be killed.
Elder gods all tops. Elder gods all tops. Middle gods all versatile. And then the lower gods are all bottoms.
No,
yeah. So Switch versatile.
Okay.
So it goes. It's elder gods and gods. And can you tell Ethan, if you've been listening, you'd know why gods are different than elder gods.
If I've been listening, I would know because they were created by the elder gods.
They can be killed by elder artifacts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking that the elder gods could, but elder artifacts. Okay, so it's artifacts of those elder gods, presumably, that can kill these gods.
Most likely. We're not going to go super deep into what the elder artifacts are yet, but they do just what they do, kind of thing. They're the reason why there will be magic in the world. They're the reason why Guthix kind of ascends later. But before that, he's just a lowly Naragi, a humanoid ancient race. I think I put a picture of Guthix that you can look at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Their physical appearance have patches of feathery red fur, distinctive facial horns, the characteristic long, narrow face with a small nose, a long upper lip, large lips, and a pointed chin.
Is that this green? Yeah, this is the green dude, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What he actually looked like way back when, we can speculate, because he is a very powerful shapeshifter by the time anyone current meets him.
Okay. Like less wrinkles, I would assume, right?
Probably.
But you should just shapeshift into a younger version of yourself. Can druids do that?
Gods often shapeshift into whatever is going to be most comfortable for their underlings to receive them as, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And when you say receive them as, are we talking about Zeus here? Because
what do you mean? Oh no. Yeah. I don't think he fucks the mortals, as far as I know.
All right, just in case.
Maybe I'll find out next week because I've only really dug into the first stage here.
Yeah. Once you hit level 10, the swan rape really cranks up.
Corked dick 5-minute cooldown. Corkscrew, I think.
I like cooldown, guys.
Cork dick.
Yeah. As mentioned in Guthix's memories, the Naragi are not born with their horns, but they grow them during adolescence, which is like a few hundred years. They're kind of like
deer.
Mm-hmm. They're like elves, where they live very, very long.
Okay.
It's nice for the ones giving birth, probably, that they don't have antlers as babies.
Yeah, okay, maybe evolution does exist then.
Oh, maybe. Jamie.
For a while, they were all born with antlers, but nobody was surviving. It was weird.
Yeah, you could only have one child per mom until they got rid of the antlers.
Yeah.
So Guthix's home. We don't know the name of it, but we know that it consists of platforms resting on the ends of what looks like trees. You can find like a cutscene of RuneScape type graphics, and that's pretty much all you get is what looks like trees with platforms with houses and stuff on them.
Okay.
And he lived amongst his race, the Naragi. And they lived as peaceful farmers, craftsmen, hunters, and light sculptors. We know
fishers,
Guthix,
fletchers, miners,
cobalt miners.
Yeah, miners without their horns.
Irish rock bands,
Irish Sundays. We'll eventually know Guthix as the last of the Naragi. So This is the good time for him, where he still has his people and he's hanging out.
And he's just making arrows 55 hours a week.
Exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah. So relaxing.
Yeah. And given their average lifespans, they're centuries old, like I said. Guthix had a wife named Fraji and a daughter named Agi, and he loved both dearly, but Fraji died while Agi
too fragile.
Yeah. Yep.
This side up is like on all the females. Like, and she was like born upside down.
She laid down to go to bed and just broke all her glass organs.
All her glass organs.
Yeah. Never lay tusk side down. Yeah. So now Agi's growing up with her single dad, and when Agi is a couple of centuries old, again still a child by Naragi standards. Okay. Father and daughter paid visit to a nomad who told them of a magical disturbance. This disturbance was speculated to be a portal in the process of opening itself, appearing near the great city of Askroth.
Askroth that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Askroth.
Yeah.
Or maybe Askroth.
Yeah.
Let's say hit the S with more of a Z sound. Ascroth.
Okay. The diviners or diviners had begun.
It's definitely diviners.
It's definitely diviners. I love the confidence that you dropped with that diviner stuff.
It was on purpose.
The potatoes are the main ingredient.
Yeah.
Well, that's a terrible example because some people could pronounce it potato. Though.
Diviner diviner. Am I right?
I know.
So the diviners had been assembling. So they're getting a welcoming committee ready for whoever's going to come through this portal.
Okay.
They're a little naive, the Naragi, at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know. Something's trying really hard to force its way through to our world. That's strange. Break out the balloons, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put up the banner.
Yeah.
So a young god named Saradomin arrived with his armies and claimed ownership of the world. I have a picture of him there. He kind of just looks
far
like
into he's a jolly good fellow did the high school band get before they were all massacred, presumably by this man and his army? Just like just butchered.
The high school band who has to play their horn before they get their horn.
Yeah.
Well, hey there. What'd you say your name was? Sarah Doman. So nice to meet you. My name's Rita, and just want to let you know we do all have glass organs here, so please be careful. Right?
Don't turn us upside down.
But we only got a few rules here. Okay, say please and thank you. Make sure to eat and drink your fill, and keep the bullpen closed. We don't want the bulls getting out. Okay, it's very dangerous for us.
We're all China shops around.
We're all China shops, if you know what I mean.
So just as Rita finishes her speech, as Sardonin walks through, all of his armies start pouring through the portal as well.
Okay,
and he claims ownership of this tree world.
He's a pretty normal-looking kind of fantasy god. Blue skin, a lot of armor, robes. Does he have feet? Does he hover, or are they under his robes? Who knows?
I haven't met him in game yet.
How many little piggies?
He looks very human, human face, human builds, just blue, pale blue skin with a white beard and
golden crown, kind of shaped like a pointy, like an extra pointy star, I guess.
He's a Catholic. You know what I mean? He's pretty ostentatious in the garb.
So the people.
The Catholics have done equally as much damage to the people they've interacted with as I has.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not put Saradomin on that kind of evil level.
The Saradomin, some people might know him as a good guy by the time, because he does kind of switch back and forth on sides. I know that, but I don't know exactly when. So when you meet him in game, he might be cool to you. But just know he started as an asshole to Guthix and the Naragi.
Low Saradomin levels cause depression, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. You do meet the occasional cool white person, but it doesn't change their colonizing past.
A war broke out on the once peaceful world, and most Naragi fled to refugee camps. But some stayed to fight as well.
The high school band, the tuba kid.
went down with the ship. down with the slowly falling tree.
Yeah. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure playing for cheerleaders with you all. Bleachers sinking into the ocean.
Yeah.
One last time, gentlemen. Give me a G.
Yeah. So some Naragi were fighting. Just a name drop for people who've played the game. Nerix is one of them who fought alongside. But he's dead by the time I'm pretty sure we get to
Tuba Kid
in the game. Yeah, Nerix.
Nerix is the Tuba Kid.
Yeah, I think you meet him in a cutscene or something, and that's how you know who Nerix is. But all the Naragi will die before you get to play the game.
Okay.
So Guthix resisted the temptation of sending AG away to the refugee camps. He felt that the refugees would soon have nowhere to go, so he would rather hide his daughter in the storm cellar because he thinks that he has a better chance of saving his daughter than the refugee camps do.
Sure.
Okay.
So years after Saradomin's arrival, other gods started to join the fun. Guthix.
Hey, I heard there was people in this universe with glass bones. Oh, let's get in on this, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, and who showed up but the big old feral pig Tuska, who is a god of the A-root. I have it kind of out of order in the picture.
The Tuska guy is he's like a porcupine with like tusks. She's like a porcupine with like tusks, but her quills on her back, like her skin is made of like clay, it looks like, but is like bursting with this like green electric energy, and her quills are just like totally lit up with that green electric energy. She looks very cool.
Her worshippers are below too. The A-root. They're purple hairy monsters. They don't look very hairy in game because they're all polygons, but
like flat hairy textures. You can see it. Yeah.
They look like Tauren from World of Warcraft.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So we got Tuska and their Tauren A-root. They're coming through the portal, and they're here to join the fun. Hey, where's the glass bones at?
She does look very much like the bull for this China shop of a universe, really.
Right? Unfortunately, Saradomin did not have an AR-15 to handle these 34 feral hogs in his backyard.
Yeah, 30 to 50 feral hogs.
Yeah. So Tuska starts attacking Saradomin, who starts protecting now the Naragi. He flipped sides. He's like breaking their glass bones, and then the bull comes in.
These are my glass bones to break.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just picturing like Saradomin being like much bigger than the Naragi, and like having a wedding of like Saradomin's like daughter, is getting married, and they go
the
like
towel.
Take a towel wrapped Naragi, throw it on the ground, and, like smash it with their heels. It's like the sound of glass break. Muzzle top.
A little pig in a blanket, just smash it. So Tuska with the A-root starts fighting Saradomin. The A-root come in real fast, and Tuska starts destroying everything in sight. Just a boar just running into everything in the China shop.
Yeah.
Most of the Naragi race has been annihilated, and even Saradomin pieced out because like Tuska's too strong. See ya. And the war had lasted centuries at this time. Many gods.
Like, oh shit, this is hard. I'm sorry for weakening your entire race. Peace.
Yeah, pretty much. And having regret and trying to help them in the end, too. So,
dude, you know what? Just like Saradomin, just like complaining to like a Naragi slave that he's got around. Like, dude, you know what fucking sucks? When you're just like, you're in a world and you're just fucking chilling here. That somebody opens up a fucking portal and just like comes in and starts fucking stuff up for you. Like, it's such bullshit, dude. I don't get it. What is with these Tuska?
It is kind of a little too perfect that he got a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah. But he gets to piece out because he's a god, right?
Yeah. And I'm just from like scrolling through the 6 ages, I read like a summary. I know Saradomin does come back, but he had. I
wish my serotonin would come back.
Yeah. All of us, so in this time, there's a bunch of other gods who kind of come and go too, but it's not that important because they all either die or flee, like Saradomin.
Okay.
But with the stage set,
Tuska stays around with the Naragi.
Tuska's the big bad with the Naragi. Saradomin has abandoned his now allies. and everything's fucked. Everyone's almost dead. Guthix and his daughter still alive, still hiding out.
This is okay. I think the modern day parallel is the U.S. invasion of Iraq, right?
I was gonna say
the U.S. like comes in, invades, nobody asked them to, and then like they get all set up, and then suddenly like ISIS starts getting out of hand. They're like, "Well, I guess we're fucking pulling out then. See you guys. Good luck with that."
Yeah, pretty much.
A bunch of modern like political parallels did pop into my head, and of course, it's always the U.S. military imperialism that is just like, "Hey, we're here to help." Oh no, we made everything worse.
Well,
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
So this kind of set the stage where the Naragi are almost at their lowest point, and Guthix, still immortal,
Guthix
immortal.
is now recruiting for
immortal.
ISIS, is what happened, right?
Wait, what's it? Say that again?
Guthix is now recruiting for ISIS.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's a Mujahideen rebel, right?
Yes.
He's very much more of a solo rebel. He hates gods. He doesn't want anything to do with gods. He just wants to be left alone in his house. He's more like a Unabomber kind of thing. He hates the government.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he just wants to be left alone in the house with his daughter and just leave me alone.
Yeah, the Tuska Revolution and its consequences or whatever.
Yeah.
His manifesto.
So we set the stage. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with Guthix and one of the most important moments of his life and something that'll shape the future of RuneScape forever. Hello, welcome back from the break. So back to RuneScape. Just a quick recap for all those folks who need it, basically. We started off all worlds created by Elder Gods. A little bit imbalance in some of those worlds. Oh, excuse me. Most of them.
Holy moly.
Oh, God. Where did that come from?
A little bit of imbalance in your digestion, huh?
Yeah. That Miller High Life champagne of beers. It's a little too bubbly for my throat, I guess.
Yeah.
The spicy
Miller, no
monsters.
more life.
Yeah. The imperfections of life force in most of the planets, all of them except for the one that we know is Gilnor, which is where RuneScape takes place, have imbalances which give rise to consciousness. Some of these conscious beings are the Naragi, and their world is under siege by multiple gods, namely, how have I forgotten already?
Tuska.
Yeah. I almost call her
Tusker.
Tusker. Tusker is a World of Warcraft pig.
Famous mob.
Different pig. Different pig.
Different pig, yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Same shit, different pig, baby.
So our boy Guthix, sorry.
James, when you like starting the episode for the first time already, we've been on for 30 seconds.
Yeah, the break for those who don't know was a whole month. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Our boy Guthix has his daughter hidden in the basement, and he's fighting to protect the last of his family and pretty much the last of his race at this point. Most of the Naragi have fallen to Tuska or one of the other gods. So we're coming up on a big moment in Guthix's life, and that'll affect RuneScape forever, like I said. So Tuska one day approaches Guthix's home. So instead of the big bad wolf coming to knock on the pig's door, it's the pig knocking on the...
Yeah.
There's no way to stop this.
Well, because I imagine like the double doors of the actual, like, you know, like a tornado shelter, like in the Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah.
And then like this giant pig the size of a mountain is like rooting around. I hope that came through and didn't get like cut out.
We got one snort. We got one.
Oh, that was it? Oh, too bad.
You miming it was great, though, I'll say. Pete looking for truffles.
But the sound of a mountain large pig like breathing in and out to smell you would be so terrifying.
Yeah, like would you get sucked up and like hit the boards of the storm cellar door every time it snorted? Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, so they stood face to face now. Tuska comes to Guthix's home, and Guthix is like, you know what? I'm standing my ground. This is like I'm the last line of defense for my whole family, for my whole race. So he stood there with all this courage. But before Tuska could even charge, her enemy god, Skargaroth, plunges his sword, an elder artifact, into her eye. So I put a picture of Skargaroth. Skargaroth does not make it even into the first stage. So what we have looks kind of like a statue. This might be a depiction of Skargaroth more so
That's
than
what it is. Yeah. Okay.
This is an enemy in an N64 game.
I was gonna say it looks like if Andros was a mummy from
from
Star Fox.
And if Andros had concentric circles of candy corn of various shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
yes, of course.
It looks like one of the Titan Forge from WoW, like the big robot guys. Like, you can just imagine whatever you like, because this is so far in distant past that maybe only Guthix would remember what Skargaroth would look like at this point. So.
I don't remember exactly what he looked like, but we did bring candy corn to his shrine to worship him. That's that's what I do remember.
Yeah.
So Skargaroth kills Tuska with a spear to the eye.
Injures with the Elder Artifact, a giant sword into her eye.
Okay.
She just wears an eye patch over the sword, which is still there. So it's just
So what you find out now is or where he thought he was going to have to fight a god, he found himself in between two gods fighting. So the Aerut, which are the Tuska's followers, flock around Skargaroth as their goddess duels them. So right now there's two gods flashing with incredible power right next to Guthix's house. And
one of them with a toothpick in the eye.
Yeah, one of them with a toothpick in the eye. And to Guthix,
you always know where she's looking, though, right?
Guthix's absolute horror, the god Skargaroth was knocked off his feet and landed on his house, destroying it and killing his daughter underneath. So it wasn't even a malicious move. It was like a god literally tripping in a battle that killed his family.
Which is quite the metaphor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we talk about Malazan a lot without ever really broaching the subject. But like a huge theme in Malazan is the gods don't care about what happens to mortals, and they're kind of just like playing their own games. And that's just like it's all told from the perspective of mortals, and it's like, how does that impact their day to day, basically? Kind of soldiers fighting in these wars while gods are just like, taking them as pawns and summoning crazy shadow hounds and stuff.
Yeah. I remember being like deep into my Malazan reading and just thinking so much about how like the interplay of how worship makes gods more powerful, and then how the gods use that worship to use their humans as like pawns, and they don't care about it, and there's a lot of accidental stuff. And then I saw there's ants in my apartment, and I put a circle of dish soap around them. And I was like, I am the god.
I am the god. Look at me. I am the god now.
I control where you move. And it was just all those metaphors were way too fresh in my mind.
A circle of dish soap.
Yeah. And watching them like go to the end and then turn around, go to the end and trying to get out. But
I'm just imagining now, like running up to the house that your daughter's in the root cellar, and then just like a beam of dish soap shoots out of the sky and just obliterates it.
Yeah, exactly. So now the situation we're in, Skargaroth, he's like basically on his ass in the wreckage of Guthix's home, with
just picking Guthix's daughter out of his ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, geez, sorry, buddy.
Or just like two pats, like he's dusty, just like, and it's like his entire home.
Yeah. In reality, he's dazed. He's down, and he's like what looks like unconscious, or just kind of like, like when a guy goes down from a punch and he isn't really looking at anything for a couple seconds.
Get up, get up, get up. He's like,
exactly. So now this is a big moment. So Guthix, in shock of losing his home and daughter, he goes nuts, and he picks up the sword that Skargaroth drops, and he uses it to stab it into the other eye of Tuska.
Wait a second. Are these gods not giant?
So the thing is with magic artifacts, like maybe like like the One Ring in Tolkien, it just fits on everyone's finger.
Sauron's last dart that he was smoking.
Right? Yeah. So these are giants, and whenever Guthix is depicted after this, he is a giant, but this is his come to godhood moment.
Okay, is
when he picks up this sword and he gouges out the other eye of the charging pig.
He's like the Grinch's heart. He grew 3 sizes that day.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
he grew to match the sword, not the opposite.
After Santa Claus crushed Cindy Lou Who to death, if I recall the Dr. Seuss story.
Right. So yeah, Skargaroth, down and dazed. He grabs his sword. Skargaroth, still down and dazed. He stabs the pig in the other eye. The blind goddess howls and runs away, followed by her followers.
Okay.
And now it's just me. It's just me and you, baby. There's a giant who's sitting on my dead daughter, and I got his sword. So, and so Guthix plunges the sword.
You got a dead daughter stuck to your ass, but I got a sword, idiot.
Yeah. He stabs him into the back, killing the god, and transfers the power into Guthix himself, who became
okay, all right.
Who became what he always feared and despised, a god himself. So check out the picture I labeled Aftermath. It's fan art. It's really cool. It's like a very, very tall Guthix with like one of, I guess, the last Narugi that are alive down below him near the sword. So you can see how epic he had become.
Okay, yeah. He just looks like a Sasquatch in this compared to the more like blue elf dude in the actual photo.
He's missing his antlers.
Yeah.
He ain't got no antlers.
He's not green.
I mean, he has tusks. They never had antlers. They've always had tusks.
Also, sorry. You said tusks. I heard antlers earlier when I was looking at the last picture of him.
I also thought antlers.
Because we said when they're born...
The deer thing.
The deer thing. We talked about
you guys said that, but I never said horn.
Okay.
Ethan and I were just like...
Or you did say antlers.
I think I said horns instead of tusks at a certain point. But,
okay. Well, then he ain't got no horns. But now you're telling us it's tusks this whole time.
The thing is, ancient history, and this guy's a shapeshifter. So what he looks like, pretty tough to say.
Yeah, and Jamie's mistakes, those are ancient history. We don't have to dwell on them.
More boys canon, baby.
Credit to Rami _art who provided this real hard. That's like if I imagine a picture drawn on DeviantArt that wasn't like two dogs fucking each other. This is what it would look like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a big scale up from original RuneScape graphics though, right? Like it provides a better pick. Yeah.
They're using the good Photoshop brushes, clearly.
Yeah.
His sword also has like a rail on the back of it. It's weird.
Right. Yeah. So his family and friends dead, world in ruins. Guthix uses the sword to cleave open portals to various locations in the multiverse, and he set out to travel in sorrow.
So, I was really hoping he was just like, I'm going to kill all the gods. It was just like traveling the multiverse, killing all the gods.
Sit on their daughters.
Yeah.
In the third age, I know, like, he goes into... What we're going to finish with is Guthix goes to sleep for a long time because he's tired of the mortals.
Okay.
But at one point in the third age, he wakes up and he just banishes gods. There's like this whole god war going on. And he's like, you go back to your realm. You go back to your realm. You were nice. Say goodbye to your followers. Now you go back to your realm.
You're in timeout, mister. You're in timeout, mister. You're wearing the dunce hat, Craig. Come on.
So he very much hates gods to the point where he even hates his own godhood.
Self-loathing god. Those are very dangerous.
Yeah, just like me, a self-loathing podcaster. The power I wield is too terrible.
So Guthix now, he starts opening different realms, and he meets a bunch of people, different races. He meets like basically all of what life has to offer until he finally. Actually, at one point he meets Saren, I should say too, on the elf planet. And Saren comes back, Queen of the Elves. She's pretty important in the lore.
He meets Saren. Ethan and I sitting here like, okay,
cool. Yeah, Saren like the gas.
Yeah,
Saren Seren, like the beginning of Serenity.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, yeah. Isn't the bad guy in the first Mass Effect Saren, and also Saren is like one of the best warframes too.
Yeah, Saren is the best guy in the first Mass Effect. Yeah,
there's a very good classic WoW Shadow Priest named Saren as well. There's a lot of Sarens out there.
Mm-hmm.
So Guthix, after checking all these planets, can you guess which one he landed on, guys?
I can't remember what it's called.
I was like Galenor.
Galenor. Yeah.
Got it.
So
I was like Galliope, but I was like, no, that's not it.
Galliope? That's a good one.
He's drawn to this planet. It's the Elder God's final and perfect creation. And it's said that he landed there in the form of a multicolored butterfly, for whatever that's worth.
Very pretty. Okay.
Yeah.
That is great.
Like normal size, or is there all the like RuneScape farmers like grinding out their fishing, and then the sun is blocked out by a kilometer wide butterfly?
There's no people there yet. He's the only one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's Lord Boys Canada. You get big as small as you like them to.
Okay. He had not decided the size of butterflies that he would create yet.
No. It was all relative. So he was taken aback by its serenity and its lush environment, as well as the fact it was empty. He found more elder artifacts there, namely the horn, the staff, and the stone of Jas. The stone of Jas is a really important one. The elder gods, whenever they had the stone of Jas, they cursed Dragonkin for all time to be the defender of it. And if it was ever used in the wrong way, Dragonkin would just feel immense pain until it was being used for a good way again.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah. But
there's no
Guthix
Dragonkin yet, right? Or are they just like from an? Or
they're somewhere.
Okay.
They
I don't
existed.
know
They existed before Guthix even. They were around from another failed elder god attempt at creating world from before the eggs or something.
Okay.
Dragonkin are old. Okay.
So he shows up as a butterfly. I don't know if you're going to go into depth, but so like there's no other races. Do other races come from other planets, other places, or is he going to like see the life here?
So
do you
Guthix,
know that? Or?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Guthix.
So he shows up. Sorry, he shows up as a butterfly. He creates bees. One of the bees is like, "You like Jas?" And then the rest is history, right?
Not quite how it happened. He didn't create any of the life. All he did is, since he can slice and make portals, and he also has like been exploring the multiverse for so long, he knows where all the cool people are, or all the cool races. And he got to choose which races to live on his planet.
Trust a guy who knows where the cool races are. I don't know about this one. maybe Guthix isn't the good guy.
It's Guthix is like close to a German name too. I feel like if you didn't do the IX on the end, like
CHS.
Yeah.
Gunther,
exactly.
Very common name.
So, like I was saying, he has all these like magical powered things. He uses the item. He shapes the world as it's known today. So if you see a mountain in game or you see a lake, that's how Guthix just kind of put his own flair on the end of it from after the elder gods finished with it.
Did he redact the map himself too?
I guess he must have.
Okay, yeah.
He must have, yeah. So then he invited mortals. The mortals who are able to live in balance on their own planets are invited. So he brings the elves with Saren through the world gate, and they're amazed by the nature. They settled in Tiranwin, which someone who plays the game will know. They constructed a crystal city called... Oh, try this one, guys.
Sure.
Try this one. Because I certainly can't.
You didn't even try.
Oh man,
Prifdinus.
Prifdinus, a couple D's. Prif
double D in ass.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
So I said it kind of wrong though. I kind of got ahead on the mortals since we started talking about it. The elves came first.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's no problem. So she started with Guthix and the elves. All the elves come. They spend a bunch of time together. Everything's fine. Yeah,
presumably.
Sounds like it. Yeah. And they desired for Gielinor to be inhabited by peaceful mortals, so they take the cool ones through the world gate or the portal of life, and they bring in colonies of cats, dwarves, ents, gnomes, humans, and sheep, amongst others.
Playable races, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played as a cat. I haven't played as an ent.
As a sheep, though?
I think I made the mistake of making my character years ago and forgetting about it, so I didn't go through character creation last night.
Yeah, that's true. You signed into RuneScape, you're like, I already have a character and I have no idea why.
Yeah, exactly. And it was still in the tutorial area, so you can see how far I got through the last time. But.
Yeah.
So they greeted everyone in, said live with balance, be cool. they gifted the humans with magic by using the Stone of Jas to create rune stones. Yeah, it's coming, but it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. Which he had spread by emissaries.
Also, runestones, magic rocks. I think we should all.
Yeah, it's true. The emissaries are called the Misa Leonar, which are the first mages or magic users.
Okay.
These runes eventually caused the name Gielnor to fall into disuse as the inhabitants began to call it Runescape instead.
Instead of landscape. There's so many runes because like Sauron, they're just flicking their butts wherever they go. Bugs, they're flicking their runes all over the place.
Yeah, no, it's illegal to kill people with your butt in this place because he still has hard feelings about
the cigarette rune is what they call it at the end, right? The filter is.
So the druids developed magic, becoming the first wizards, and inevitably the inhabitants of RuneScape, most notably the humans, began worshipping Guthix as their god, building temples and sacrifices in his name, much to his disgust.
There's no balance if you're sacrificing the sheep he brought in through the fucking portal from the sheep planet.
Are your humans just too loud? Do they want to summon you all the time and worship you?
I brought in all these children from all these different reigns, and I love them equally. Even the sheep I love as much as anyone else. Let's check in on the humans, see what they're up to, huh?
Yeah.
Oh god, no. They've invaded Iraq. History repeats itself.
They made up some bullshit story about sheep having weapons of mass destruction. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So he becomes gradually less interested now in this wonderful paradise in which he built and gave magic to his people. People are giving him too much worship, and he's like, "That's not cool, man. Just take it in stride." And he would only show up every once in a while for a while.
It's one of the 10 commandments. Take it in stride, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. You're being kind of cringe, simping pretty hard here. Like, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like sacrificing a sheep on an altar, and like there's a bowl upon the altar, and the sheep's like bleeding out, and they're burning incense, and they're like, "Dear Guthix, show feet."
So he becomes distant dad for a while, and after 4,000 years about from when he populated the world, he leaves altogether. He lets Saren know, "Hey, you want to come with me?" And she's like, "Yes, I promise I will." But on the day to leave, she was like, "I can't leave my elves," so she stayed there.
It's like,
yeah. And Saren, by the way, is the plaything of the 5th elder god who was born with a child brain, right? And so Saren, Saren's kind of created from a weird part of godhood, and she stays with her elves. And Guthix, on the other hand, buries himself deep underground, where he falls into his sleep, desiring to be completely forgotten by the Gielnorians, ending the First Age. So that's Guthix. Cool. That's how the world was created, kind of what gods are like, what elder gods are like, how Guthix came to power, or how to get his powers, and how he created the very land and ores. He created the ores of which we mine, the fish of which we take and cook.
The scape in which we rune.
The scape in which we rune, the 100,000 logs you must chop down to be good at chopping down logs.
The butt in which we smoke.
Yeah. And
the butt in which we smoke.
The organ in which we glass. Amen.
Do you guys have time for one cool RuneScape anecdote that I have?
Nope. Goodbye.
No, I don't.
Okay, it's a good one though. You guys
Robo's Prime is not having time for Jamie. That's
So you know how we were kind of talking about funny economy stuff with RuneScape? Yeah. There's a guy who figured out how to play. He saw his dad playing, and he got interested in the game back when it was really popular. And he found a client which you could bot, so you could run 8 instances at once, bot, and then make gold. Sell the gold online, and you make money. This guy took a couple wrong turns, and he ended up getting really into opiates.
So, okay. I thought this was going.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they end up becoming like the the leader of the police union in Arizona or whatever.
Oh, what the fuck was that guy's name? That sheriff?
Yeah. No. Anyway, modern politics.
It escalated more and more. Like with opiates, they feel good, but you got to do more of them to feel good as time goes on, right? So he started getting more and more elaborate RuneScape botting farms and stuff to make. You can make like 1 million gold an hour doing certain tasks, which comes out to about 50 cents.
1 million gold is 50 cents?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
looked it up. It's still
at least
similar.
He's not sucking trucker dicks, but sucking trucker dicks is way faster.
Yeah. No, but you can run 12 plus of these all at once, right? And that's the idea. You just like run more and more and more at once, and you're making money while you're sleeping. So it gets to a point where you just have 24-hour income.
Warren Buffett said, if you can't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think Warren Buffett might have been making more than 50 cents an hour. I hope.
Yeah,
there's no way to know. I think Warren Buffett was a big RuneScape fan.
It's $1. Yeah. It's if you can get 20 of these things running, you're making minimum wage 24 hours a day, I guess, or whatever, $10 an hour, whatever that is. Minimum wage,
no labor.
Yeah, no labor.
Yeah, it's not that bad. All right,
but he also needed to make a little more money because you realize that you got to do more of these things. And he found out that, well, I like playing RuneScape and I just want to keep my gold, so I'll just sell heroin.
That is so like the meth head response to like creating an imaginary problem where it's like, I just got like too much fake money that's making me real money, and I want to keep my fake money now, so I'm gonna pull all the copper wire out of my apartment building and sell that instead. Yeah,
so he sells heroin and coke, and then because he's probably buying larger and larger amounts too, and that's kind of the drug dealer trajectory, especially for when it comes to self-use.
Drugs are one big honeypot, right?
Yeah. But like everyone,
he broke the number one rule. He wanted to keep his gold, and you never get high on your own supply.
On your own gold stacks,
right?
Yeah. So one day, someone came up to him and said, "I want to meet up for a big deal, like $10,000 USD deal."
Okay,
heroin
drugs or gold?
Yeah,
drugs, heroin.
Okay.
You gotta specify.
Yeah. So what? What? All of this I heard through a YouTube channel with a guy with a voice changer. So how much of this is true? Where it's up to us. But he says that he left the drugs at home because he felt something was off. And as soon as he got there, someone pulled a gun on him and tried to rob him, but he didn't have the drugs. So the person started shooting at him. He replied by shooting back because he brought his gun. And he drove all the way home. Eventually, SWAT team, they got his plates somehow, come on in through the walls and stuff, find all the heroin, the guns, the RuneScape. No, they didn't.
I was gonna say, like, I'm a bit iffy on gun ownership these days. I think it gets a little squirrely. But if you need to stand your ground and protect your RuneScape gold, 100%. Yeah, 100%. You should be chromed up at all times.
So Pete, this is all teasing up to what I kind of mentioned at the bar to you the other night. He goes to prison, and they found out that there's a few guards that are smuggling phones in, and it's fairly easy to get phones in this prison. So mobile RuneScape had just come out.
Oh yes! Oh right, yeah.
He's the Bernie Madoff of the judge forgot to ban him from duping RuneScape gold.
So then this becomes less about the individual, and it becomes more about the effect on this whole prison. All these like big tatted up guys and stuff like start figuring out how to play this game, and there's a lot of people who really enjoy gambling in there. So now they're
the guy at the prison, like the corner store at the prison or whatever. It's like no one's buying Jolly Ranchers or ramen noodles anymore. And now you've got the white supremacists, you've got the cholos, you've got the black gangs, then you've got like the sex slave guys, and like the economy now is just RuneScape in this prison.
RuneScape Gold, yeah. So when it comes to cigarettes and things like that you would buy at the commissary, someone would buy with real money, but you could get transferred gold to trade, kind of thing. And RuneScape Gold, they could earn it on their own time. It's something to do while you're in prison, right? And it's fun. And prison, and now also, yeah. Let's say you have a bunch of drugs, which is like your thing that you trade. If that gets confiscated, you're fucked. Your phone gets confiscated. Your RuneScape account's still there.
Yeah.
Logging on a new phone, dude.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's people were full on gambling. There's this thing called like striking or something. I know it's not actually that, RuneScape fans, but the idea is you start off and it's a 50-50 gamble, and you stand in front of each other and you just lash each other with a mace. And it's a 50-50 chance. It's not stat based. It's just a way to gamble gold. So you could say, I put up 1 million gold on this one, and then you watch your guys like lash each other 2 frames a second until one of them dies first, and then the one who dies has to give the gold to the other guy. And there was people in jail who were paying for their family at home to their rent and their food with RuneScape gold that they were earning gambling in jail.
Holy shit. Can you imagine being the guy stabbed to death in his bed with a turkey bone because you did like a RuneScape scam, and then like the rival gang in prison found out about it?
Or just imagine you're like someone who looks like me, right? Like you got your glasses, you're like playing the game and you trade with someone, and on the other side it's like a guy with a swastika tattoo on his forehead. Like you never expect that. You know what I mean?
I can't believe Jamie gave all his RuneScape gold to Charles Manson. Shit.
Just to say, man, that this game is like there's a million other stories. Like we talked about that thing that you mentioned earlier, the massacre on 666, it becoming a prison currency.
When I was Googling, when I was trying to find the Falador massacre there, I had just been Googling like stuff or whatever. And then I eventually ended up on like differences between OSRS and RuneScape 3 or whatever. And I was going to bring up the fact that like, these like collectible party hats that I mentioned in the Falador massacre that people were stealing off of like corpses, they go for 2 billion. Like one of them goes for 2 billion gold today in RuneScape 3. But then you said 1 million was 50 cents. I was like, okay, that's nowhere near as much as I would have thought. But
yeah, you make $1 million an hour, and but like some of those big
still like 1,000 hours, right, to get to a billion. So it's still 2,000 hours to buy one of these party hats.
But if you
got nothing but time in prison, that's not that bad, really.
Exactly. And lucky gambling or something, there are RuneScape billionaires in prison.
Yeah. If anybody listening is a felon, you know what to do if you reoffend.
Oh man! If you're a felon, go swap phones. Download this podcast on all the phones, guys. What are you doing? You're listening to the show, and you're in the slammer. You're in the big house.
Write us an email at loreboys@contact.com. And if you don't want us to read us on the air, we won't. But I just want to hear from our RuneScape prisoners.
When we do our 1 millionth download celebration stream, collect call from a prison on Twitch. That's the game.
Absolutely.
So
Bison, get yourself incarcerated for this.
I think the long form story is like never bought any games because you'll get hooked on opiates and go to jail. So
video games are the real crime.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We should ban those instead of like guns or anything else.
So for everyone keeping score at home, we got skateboarding is not a crime. Video games is a crime. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging in there for that extra little anecdote. I thought it was too funny not to share. So
I would listen to an entire episode about the heroin dealer who turned a prison into a RuneScape gold farm.
Oh yeah,
there's
a good YouTube video with more details and stuff out there. So all you got to do is look up like RuneScape prison gold kind of thing, and it'll come up.
Yeah. All you have to do is Google RuneScape heroin, and then you'll be fine. Don't worry about that. Use a VPN.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for rating the friggin' episode, Jamie. This has been the Lore Boys. If you want to get in touch with us, contact at loreboys.com or loreboyspodcast@gmail.com. As we've kind of alluded to a few times in this episode, we did hit 1 million downloads, which is guys, absolutely fucking insane. So thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. We have nothing special planned, but we do plan to get drunk on Twitch for you guys at some point in the near future.
And read your mail.
Please send us emails so that we can read them on air. Keep them short, otherwise we'll end up cutting them down probably just to save on time. So if you're gonna make them long and sincere and sappy, put what you want us to read at the top, I guess is what I'm saying. Because we might cut them off at the pass. And thanks so much for listening, Peter. What's going on in the Instagram world these days?
Oh yeah, at Lore Boys Podcast on Instagram. I've been posting pictures of my growing Transformers collection, which has been luring in more people. We're almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram, which I find really, really cool, considering I post maybe 2 things a week, one of which is a goofy drawing that no one would ever understand unless they listen to the episode. And I know girls with pretty little butts who post pictures on Instagram, and we have more followers than they do, which is fantastic.
Turns out why don't you go squish a girl in a cellar with that pretty little butt? Because that's the only thing it's good for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do think it's cool that we have almost 1,000 followers on Instagram. And yeah, again, like I know hot chicks who have less followers than that, and all we do is post 1 picture a week. I got a bunch of duplicate Transformers. If anybody in Canada is interested, they're for sale.
We're not turning this podcast into your toy resell business.
Pete's garbage reselling business.
I'm gonna I got a bunch of empty cans at 15 cents a can, guys.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Pete's breathed on them, so now they're collector's items.
Yes.
Yeah. If it's not worth $1 billion RuneScape gold, I don't want to hear about it.
I can't buy heroin with it. I'm not taking the deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing else other than that. Thank you, everybody.
Jibo, what about you? What's going on with Discord, dude?
Discord, come hang out. Right now, time of recording, there is an event in like an hour and a half that 24 people RSVP'd to. So
if you miss it, just go back in time. 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm sure it will have been a lot of fun, but we're trying to organize a bunch of new events and stuff where you come and play maybe like Jackbox together or just hang out and like parallel gameplay and chat and stuff. And so just get in that Lore Boys. It's discord.gg/loreboys. Discord.gg/loreboys.
You missed this event, but you could be there for the next one.
Yeah. We're planning on doing many more thanks to David, our mod. So that's it for Discord.
Yeah. And when they're singing you happy birthday and they say and many more, they're talking about Lore Boys events. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. If you like the show, do consider getting arrested and showing it to all the fellow inmates at the prison, because I know there's a lot, especially you Americans. You guys got a lot of prisoners. So if you could start spreading the word around the prisons, that'd be really appreciated.
We need to get some gambling aspect to our game, so the prisoners can really enjoy it. But
well, I mean, we gotta introduce lore bucks and make it the new prison currency, right?
Right. Right.
If you guys want to support the show and send us some real money to convert to lore bucks that prisoners can then convert to Marlboros or whatever, we do have a patreon.com/theloreboys, where we have a couple different tiers. We're doing our, I want to say second ever, but it might be our first ever poll to decide what my next episode is going to be. So that's something that you can do. We do a bunch of bonus content. I don't know. We got like a million hours or something like that of bonus content. Or somewhere less than 1 million hours, but we got a good chunk of bonus content on there for you. We play a fun game called the Loser Titles every Monday, where we post stuff like the Neckbeard and That Boy's Name Texas on Patreon, and then you guys got to guess that it's RuneScape is the episode title.
You also get access to all of the pictures we talk about too. This week there was even a nice Ethan getting his wisdom teeth out.
There's a picture of me at 17 years old with my wisdom teeth freshly pulled out of my face. Yeah. So if you want to get access to that, consider joining our Patreon. That URL again is patreon.com/theloreboys. Everyone who does support, you guys mean the world. Jester, thanks for the continued support again. And we do, of course, for the people who don't trust Patreon, who don't believe in that, who don't believe in fiat currency. You guys want to trade in your real cash for lore bucks instead? We do have Lore Boys Prime, of course. You guys can buy votes. We are ascending to godhood, which I believe we've done before a few times, but decided it wasn't for us. We were kind of reluctant gods, but we're going to be opening some portals to y'all's dimensions. So just make sure to stock up on the good creatures. You know what I mean? As Jamie would say, the good races, I guess. Was that what you said earlier?
He did say that.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
Yeah, I guess that implies there's bad races. The ones that the ones,
Jamie's just figuring it out.
Ones that were ready to live peacefully amongst others. I guess
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So just make sure those ones that Jamie said, the good ones, not the bad ones.
You're already ready. You are already ready for your RuneScape prison gang with that attitude.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
we're three white podcasters, so we're the product of colonialism. We kind of know what we're doing here.
I think so. Yeah,
not to brag,
centuries of experience.
Yeah. So,
I'll take your land. I'll sit on your daughter.
Yeah. just make sure to kill a sheep and burn a bowl of incense, and Jamie will send you feet pics. So,
heck yeah.
And I think he's giving them to us right now. He's wiggling his little piggly wigglies. I think that would constitute lore boys.
Lore boys.
Out.
On my screen. I was here. Hi. We're doing classic Runescape. This is me and my bag of gold that I'm gonna buy my girlfriend with.
Oh god.
Oh god, no.
So glad that came through and didn't get noise gated.
That was awful. It's like right in my left ear. Oh god.
I think that would constitute lore boys.
Lore boys.
Out.
Out.
Again.
Again, he did it.
Was that on purpose that time?